not just the greatest welterweight, the greatest MMA fighter of all time is in our presence. He is the former UFC welterweight and middleweight champion. He is the pride of Saint Isidore, Quebec, Canada. He is my friend and yours, the great George Rush St-Pierre, joining us right now via the magic of Zoom. There he is, my friend George. Ça va, George?
What an introduction, Ariel. My goodness, I can't believe it.
Always.
Thank you.
Always for you, my friend. Look at you wearing the gi, and you're here on behalf of Karate Combat. Thank you so much for joining us, George.
I'm back to my roots, guys.
Yes. I love it. I love it, my friend. And I love that you have the microphone taped to your chest over there. I saw that. The magic of TV.
Oops, I wanted to hide it. I'm sorry.
No. It's all good. Okay, George. So don't have a lot of time with you, so I want to get right to it. You are back working with Karate Combat. What are you doing with them? Last year, you were the seasoned sensei. Are we doing the same thing with them?
Yeah, season 4. It's amazing. Fights are even better. And there's a lot of good talent here. I can't wait for people to watch it and see what's coming.
So last year was the season 3 for Karate Combat was your first season affiliated with the organization. What did you like about what they were doing? Obviously, you like them because you're back for season 4. What did you like about them?
I like the fight. I like the production. And finally, now karate athlete has a place where they can turn pro. You know, this is the first professional karate leagues. You know, you have a league for Muay Thai, for kickboxing, for mixed martial art, but now karate fighters can go pro in Karate Combat.
Why do you think that this has never happened before, that karate fighters didn't have a place like this? They always had to go to something else. Why do you think that was? Because karate is very popular, right? Every kid grows up doing karate.
It's true. It's probably one of the most, or maybe the most popular martial art, but there is different styles of karate and they tend to all compete with one another. And what Karate Combat offer, it's a place where all the styles can meet each other. You know? It's a compromise for every style. Kyokushinkai, Kempo, sport karate, more traditional karate. And it's a full contact sport, very exciting, very fast paced. And it's elite striking at its best.
And they use small gloves, but obviously the fingers are exposed, and you could do limited ground and pound. But the gloves, I've seen a lot of people, including Boss Rutten, who we'll talk to in a bit, say that these are great, that these could even work for MMA as well. How do you feel about the gloves?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. The gloves are great. And when you change the rules, you change the game. So let's not forget that this is not kickboxing. Because you have different gloves, and you don't fight in the ring. So you have a lot more room for movement and angle and movement in and out. So it's really karate at its best.
I remember the last time we spoke about this exactly almost a year ago when you first signed with Karate Combat. I had asked you if they were going to try to get you to compete for them. Over the course of the year, did they try to get you to compete for them?
Well, again, if Karate Combat would have existed a few years earlier, I would have certainly compete in the organization, you know, especially coming out from a karate background. 100% I would have done it.
Are they going to try to get you to compete in this upcoming season?
I think I serve better the organization by being a sensei. My serious competition years are behind me.
Okay, fair enough. Now, what does this mean when you
nice
say?
Try, Ariel.
Oh, don't worry. I'm going to try again in a second. Don't worry. But what does this mean?
Oh, I know. You don't take no for an answer. No, I know that.
Absolutely not. When you say sensei, what does that mean?
Sensei is someone that bring the respect, and also he's a teacher, not only an instructor, but a teacher. You know what I mean? Like when I say teacher, there's a lot of coach out there, but being a teacher, it's very different. You know, it goes beyond what happened in the dojo, in the gym. You can teach guys about life, how they can modify their lifestyle to integrate certain things into their life to make them perform better. This is what a true teacher is. Being a coach, it's only in the gym, but being a teacher, it's different. So a sensei, for me, it's more as a teacher as well.
You know, you mentioned this about respect and the code and all that stuff. Lately in the sport that you'll always be tied to the most, mixed martial arts, we've seen some crazy things happen just last week with Colby and Jorge and all that. How do you feel about these things when you see this?
things get out of hand, I think guys, they take it too personal. I mean, for me, even it never mattered what my opponent was saying to me. For me, it's not personal. It's about business. And the more he was trash talking me, in a way, the more I was making money. So I really have to give a big thank you to all the ferocious opponent that I had who were trash talking me, because they build up the fight in a better, interesting way for the audience. So I made more money. It's good for business.
There was never a point where you thought, man, this is crossing a line and I might act, a little bit crazy as a result of this?
Ariel, there's a reason why I never put my family and my real private life public. It's because, and I know if someone wants to get to me, it's easy for me. It comes from one ear and it goes out on the other one, and I don't take it personal. But if you try to get to someone that I love, or someone in my family, now it's going to be a different story. So that's why I always try to hide this part of my life, because I am a public person.
Yeah. So
this part, it's public. It's for the fans. But my private life, for me, it's even more precious to me. It's to compare with my career, my life is a million times better than what I've done in my career. But I keep it secret because it's my private life. It's my diamond. It's my treasure.
How difficult?
And those guys, they don't think that like that.
Right.
A lot of them also they want to use sometimes the fact that their family to build up a better platform to showcase their it's okay too. It's just that for me, I knew coming from a martial art background, because it's not a game that we play. And if you want to get to someone to make him lose his chill, there's a way that you can get to him is to attack someone that he loves. Now, sometimes it's a better way than if you try to attack the person itself. You know what I mean? And I knew that, and I didn't want to give the chance to my opponent to use that against me.
Wow, that is fascinating. I never heard you say that.
Oh yeah. The art of war, my friend.
That's
the
right.
art of war. That's my weakness.
So how difficult was it? Because I mean, in Montreal, you are an A-list celebrity. How difficult has it been to keep your loved ones private, your family private, all that stuff?
How I learned this is one time it was called the prime time. Before a fight, they try to promote fight with they call it the prime time.
Yeah.
They come to your house to film, and they came to my parents' house in Saint-Isidore, Quebec, to film me. Man, when the prime time came up, until to this day, I got people sometimes trying to reach out to me, going to my parents' house, to Saint-Isidore, knocking at the door. I say, hey, can we talk to George? My parents are very good people. They kind of, I shouldn't maybe say that, but they kind of a little bit naive sometimes, because they're from countryside. They don't know sometimes how bad people can be, like stalkers and stuff. Like some people are kind of obsessed. They don't know this. So they're like, oh, no, Georgie is not there. Unfortunately, moved out of the house years ago. But, but I told them, I said, you should not open the door to these people sometimes. It's like, you don't know who's coming. You know what I mean? It's dangerous. So my life, it's public. But please don't get to my family.
Sure. So after that experience, you said, I'm going to put a wall up, right?
Exactly. After that, I was like, this is crazy. Like, I'm not, because it's very easy to find my family in the phone book. I'm from a countryside.
Yeah.
I'm from a very small town. You check St-Pierre, there's a few names, then you narrows that down. You'll get it. You know what I mean? And it's a very small community. So, and there is people that were coming even from US to get to me. They came out to my parents. Yeah, sometimes it's scary. Like that's some crazy experience. There even at one point, there was a girl that came from very far. She want to go out with me. She would knock at my parents' house. She say, hey, where's George? I think we're made for one another and stuff.
God.
I was like, oh my God, it's insane. Some people, sometimes they have a mental illness problem.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I do this to try to protect my family.
Over the last few years, George, you have been one of the loudest people talking about the fighters and better situation for the fighters, fighter pay, things like that. This is now a hot topic in the sport. Are you following this stuff that's going on now with regards to fighter pay, and do you think that there is any changes coming?
Well, I think it will be a time that fighter will be having better conditions in the sport, including their paid and their maybe life assurance and stuff like that. It's like anything else. It was the same thing in ice hockey, baseball, football, basketball. Before the union came, it was a mess. And the same thing, mixed martial art is relatively kind of a new sport. And I think it's only a question of time.
What about Francis Ngannou, your friend from CAA? You guys know each other. How do you feel about his situation?
And I'm so proud for him. I'm very happy, he works so hard. If you read his bio, man, the guy crossed the ocean with a boat, and nobody could swim. The guy could have died. So for him, the significance of fighting must have a different significance. It must be different for him, coming from that background. He's got an incredible story, and he made it. I'm so glad that he made it, and now he deserved it 100%. And he even fought his last fight. I heard he fought with a knee injury. That's crazy. He took an enormous risk, and now it has to pay off. Now things need to pay him. Life need to pay him back. He worked too hard for this. He deserves it more than anybody.
What do you think happens? Do you think that he leaves, or do you think that he stays?
I'm telling him as a friend, like, he need to get paid to his value, and if he's not satisfied with what the UFC gives him, go get your service somewhere else where they're gonna pay you well. You know what I mean? Because he's not young. He's coming to a point that he's a heavyweight, but heavyweight, you never know what can happen. One punch can change the fight. It's very rare that you see an heavyweight staying champion for a long time because of that reason. So he need to get paid. He need to go somewhere where he's gonna be paid to what he's worth. You know what I mean? And if the UFC are not ready to do this, now he has the power on his side. He can negotiate now. Now he because of his contract. Now I believe now he's in a very good position right now.
Does he ask for your advice?
No, he didn't really ask for my advice personally, but I'm only one phone call away. I know he can reach out to me anytime. I know he's undergoing rehabilitation for his ACL now. I've done it 2 times, so I know what is the best way to do it. But I'm only one phone call away. If he needs my help, I will be happy to do it for him.
When you see like Tyson Fury, $32 million for his next fight, and Francis made $650,000, how do you feel about that when you hear that?
I'm gonna tell you the truth. For Francis, I think he deserved it. He deserved that kind of money, millions of dollars. But deep down inside, because he's such an incredible talent in MMA, I'm afraid that if he goes to boxing against Tyson Fury, yes, he's going to make one shot with a lot of money, but it's not, he's a specialist of mixed martial art. Tyson Fury has boxed all his life. So the odds will go towards Tyson Fury in a boxing match. Of course, in an MMA fight, they will never fight in MMA because Francis will crush him in under 30 seconds. But I'm just afraid that if he step into boxing, maybe he's going to get, the punch and stuff. Sometimes he can change. He can break a career. You know what I mean? So if I would be him, I would tend to fight in MMA as long as I am not tired of doing it. And when he's at the end of his career, if you want to do a boxing fight, why not? But it's up to him. You know what I mean? Like, he can do whatever he wants. And even if you look at Francis Ngannou, through all his life, the odds were always against him, and he always made it. So maybe he's gonna knock out Tyson Fury, and I don't know what I'm talking about. Maybe, who knows? I wish him the best.
Of course. At the end of each year, George, I do an award show, and one of my awards is my feel-good moment of the year, the moment that made me feel the best. Last year, you won that award, and I think initially you will say, like, wow, I didn't really fight. What did I do? Do you know what was my feel-good moment of 2021?
I can't remember what was it.
It was a beautiful moment. I get chills just thinking about it. Right before Nick Diaz was going to go out, they showed you guys in the locker room. And that moment, 2 seconds of you guys shaking hands and you giving him the wink, it made me feel so good inside. Could you tell me what it meant to you, that moment?
Well, when it happened, he was walking towards me. And with Nick Diaz, you never know. So I was like, I took a stance in a way that I didn't know if he wanted to come to fight me or if he wanted to, to talk to me. So, and when I saw him physically reach out to me with his hand, I was like, oh, okay. Now I reach out and I shook his hand. So it's peace, I guess. But Nick, I think he's one of these guys, one of the guy that took fighting very personal, you know what I mean? And whatever that I say, I never wanted to hurt him personally on a personal level. I just said things sometimes to make the fight more interesting,
So there's no animosity between you guys. And I think that showed the world.
I never had any animosity with him or any other of the guys after, once I retire. For me, it's only business.
When you see the guys who you were coming up with now retire, do you feel a certain way about that? Because you did it perfectly. No one will ever retire as good as you. You went up, you won the belt, you came off a win, and it was perfect, right? When you see these guys retire and some of them don't seem to be in the spot that you're in, how does that make you feel?
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Most of fighters don't retire from the sport. They let the sport retire them. And it's very unfortunate because I think there's two components. On the health standpoint, I think health is the most important thing. I think you should make your money. And when it's time when you pass your prime, just leave on top of your game. Of course, you'll have the feeling that you might have left some money on the table, like I did. I think I might have left some money on the table, but I know I left on top of my game, and my health is at 100% now. And also on a business side of things, when you left on top of your game, another world opened to you. It opens door for different business, different promotion, acting, different sponsorship. If you leave the sports when you're on the way down, now these doors are closed. So it's not a good idea, guys. Maybe you will feel like you leave money on the table sometime, but in the long term, even not only health-wise, even business-wise, you'll make that money back and even more.
Great advice. And in 2023, we'll see you back, right?
We'll see. You'll see me back in different things, 100%.
That is when the deal is up with the UFC, right? 2023? You're a free man.
I think the deals might be up in a few months or even right now. I got to ask my agent about that.
So 2022, we might see you back.
Well, you're not gonna see me back fighting. My serious days of fighting are over. I maybe you'll see me for to do something different. Like I don't know. Could be it's always serious because it's fighting. It's martial art. You don't play fighting. But I don't say never if it would be for like a charity or something like this, like a novelty fight, something like this. But as far as competing to trying to prove that I'm the strongest man in the world, these days are over. I'm done with it.
In other words, George St-Pierre versus Jake Paul this summer is what you're trying to say. No. It has to be something that excites me. Okay. It has to be something different, and maybe it will never happen. Maybe I have a lot of big project coming up soon. I'm going in England, and I'm going in England for an event this weekend, but I'm going back again in 2 weeks for a movie. Oh wow! So, which movie? Yeah, I'm playing. It's a European movie, like a Guy Ritchie sort of movie. I'm playing a hitman, an Italian hitman. So I'm having a lot of fun with this now. Last question for you. Speaking of movies, what did you think of Will Smith smacking Chris Rock yesterday? Do you see that? Well, I think it was a very fast slap that he threw. But I think that Chris Tucker has a hell of a chin. Yeah, Chris Rock.
Chris Rock. Sorry, I think Chris Rock has a hell of a chin. I think I'm more impressed by Chris Rock. I'm more impressed by Chris Rock performance than Will Smith performance. And I wrote to Dana on the Instagram. I said, Dana, you should make a special UFC card with celebrity.
Yeah,
I guarantee that he would make a ton of money with this.
I guarantee as well.
Because the sport now has shifted to a different thing. Now it's more about entertainment. I mean, sometimes you want to see who's the best fighter in the world, but sometimes you want to see what will happen if this guy fight this guy, sort of. You know what I mean? It's entertainment. I think there's room for both.
And we get that also with Karate Combat. You're back for season 4, season Sensei. George, always an honor. Like I said, whenever the greatest of all time is on the show, it feels a little extra special. We get dressed up, we get ready, we cut the hair, we get all prepared. You're the man, George. Much love to you, and congrats on this deal with Karate Combat.
Thank you, Ariel.
Talk to you soon.
Bye, guys.
All right, there he is, the man, George St-Pierre, back for season 4 of Karate Combat, a season Sensei. What a legend, what a guy.